Have you ever wondered what it would be like to spend the day in the life of a European Tour player at a European Tour event? Well, you're about to find out.
I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm going in circles, going in circles. I should get away from here. There's a better place for me, better place for me. Trying to play my symphony, but there's so much noise around, so much noise around. Constantly fighting for space. I need to clear my mind, need to clear my mind. I wanna be empty, be empty, be empty. A sparkle lights a fire, I'm high, I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am thirsty. A drop of water and another drop of water. Sunlight, I'll soon be rising. I'm a butterfly.
So guys, welcome to my new home for the first time. I moved earlier this week and it has been a crazy busy, stressful couple of weeks. Haven't really played much golf since the YouTube golf day or anything. And we've got Rocket down here chewing on one of my pillows. That's alright. What are you doing? We caught you. Yeah, back to chewing. I was very lucky to spend the day at the British Masters on the Tuesday, which is a practice day, with European Tour player Justin Walters. Now, Justin Walters, I believe, is in his 8th year on the European Tour, so he's not a rookie. He's been out there for a while. Really nice guy from South Africa, and I was very lucky to spend the entire day with him, follow him around basically with the camera, just get a really good insight into what a European Tour player does, how they prepare for an event. And I want to share this with you guys. First of all, there are going to be more videos from this day coming out. There was a lot to cover and I just couldn't get it all into one video. It would have been so long. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the whole day quite briefly, but you're going to see everything that he got up to. In the next few videos, we're going to have a more in-depth look at some of the things he took place, like his practice round, his lesson with his putting coach, and his lesson with his full swing coach. So, let's jump in. Started off very early, unfortunately for me, on the driving range. Warm up for probably half an hour on the range.
I wanna be empty, be empty.
15 minutes on the chipping and sort of bunker area. Really good short game facilities. This was at the British Masters. This was at Hillside Golf Club this year. Beautiful, right next to Royal Birkdale. Really beautiful part of the world.
Sunlight, I'll soon be rising.
Travel's not all that easy, but the payoff is you get to see so many wonderful places around the world, you know.
Yeah, where do you think is your favorite place to go to?
I have a few for different reasons. Yeah. I just love going back to St Andrews because it's just the aura and the feeling of being walking on those fairways just gives you just that slightly different edge, you know, feel.
To my head, I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head, got a gun to my head.
From 8 to 10 feet, tour averages would be workout 12 out of 20.
Right.
But I'm hitting the same putt repeatedly, so it should be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But it's quite hard to do, actually, sometimes.
Probably spent about 40 minutes on the practice putting green, which is right next to the first tee at Hillside. And a lot of this time he went through a few drills. He went through a few drills with his putting coach. And then he was just getting used to the feel of the greens, the pace of the greens. Wasn't anything too strict. It was mostly just catching up with his putting coach. How things going? How did last week go? How do you feel you putted? Things like that. But you'll be able to see from this conversation with his putting coach some more of the in-depth things they talked about.
I feel sometimes my hands get a bit high on the handle, and when I take the putter away, there's a bit of a lag. I hate lag, because then I lose where I seem to hook it when it starts left then. Left edge. I'm usually pretty good after a break, you know?
Yeah.
And I did a bit of practice last week, so that helped. But I think overall, my whole game's lifting a little bit, you know? Each week goes by. I haven't got the results I'm after.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I struggled to make a cut. I was missing sometimes upwards of 8 cuts in a row.
Yeah.
And I think after that, it became about making cuts.
Yeah.
So I seem to be pretty good Thursday, Friday, and I put a lot into it. And then I feel like there's almost a dip in energy and concentration on Saturday, and then I pick it up Sunday.
Yeah.
But by then, you know, in this level, this day and age, you can't have a bad day.
Much like self-talk going on with your putting, like when you're over
Yeah.
putts, do you think?
Not on I'm over the putts, but behind the
What sort of
putt.
things do you say to yourself?
It's a lot of stuff just to activate the brain.
Mhm.
I can't remember the terminology, but here and now. What do you want here and now? And I'll go, what do you want to do here and now? And I go, I want this ball to go in that hole. So it's very plain, simple.
Yeah.
And once I have all of that, I get over it. And I think when I'm struggling a bit, there might be a bit of chatter.
Yeah.
But most of all, I'm quite calm over and just going through my motion and hitting it. Yeah. The less less thinking I do over the ball, the better I am.
So then after that, onto the first tee. Off the first tee, practice round, he was playing with three other European Tour players. I know one of their names is Clement Sordet, but you'll be able to see a really good look at all of them. All of them, ball striking was just ridiculous, and I was very, very fortunate to be following them inside the ropes. Pretty spectacular, really.
150. Bit of hurt? 8 enough? Off the left, eh? I'm going today. Thank you.
I wanna be empty, be empty. A sparkle lights a fire. I'm high, I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am thirsty.
We put a little dot on the top there. I use that off the tee. I focus on that dot. Helps me stay with the shot a little longer. And then something to make me smile a little more, because I don't do that enough. Put a little smiley on there.
Awesome. I've seen you smiling quite a bit today, mate.
Yeah. It's Tuesday, mate. It's Tuesday.
Wait until.
I used to be quite uptight on the course, but I'm definitely trying to lighten up. I don't know if my coach will, my caddy would agree with me.
Is that one of the biggest things you've learned since you came on the European Tour? Is maybe
Not necessarily just the European Tour, just golf in general. The concept of golf doesn't change wherever you play.
Yeah.
But it is a game after all, you know. But it's hard because we make it into more than that because it's our livelihood. So
Absolutely.
that every missed putt or bad shot kind of equates to something that doesn't make you smile.
I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am thirsty.
I got Goffy, my coach, you, then Ryan, and then Garth with training, fitness. Keep my nice round shape going. Maybe I go and work with Goffy.
Yeah.
Get that done, and then come back and we can work, and then see how where it ties in.
I am in darkness.
So the first thing I want to mention for you guys, they're in a practice round. They're not trying to score here. Yes, they're trying to hit shots in certain areas, but they're not playing the hole. So they could hit 2 or 3 tee shots if they're deciding what club off a certain tee, or with a different wind direction, or what ball flight's going to be best for that hole. And then they could be playing different approach shots from different places, thinking strategically how they're going to play the hole later in the week. This was amazing to see how they prepare, and also to see, if they hit a bad shot, they don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a practice round. It's not a competition.
The problem is these caps, if you land something that was down, I'd rather get it past them. Personally. Even on the right shares, the rough's not bad. We've only got 117 holes, so it's not like you have to really have a go at it. Depends on the wind, I suppose, doesn't it? 52?
Yeah, off the right, that please.
Right club and right strike.
That one?
Yeah.
Go on then.
You want to know what we're doing here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll hit an imaginary putt. I'll hit a stroke. He'll click the timer, and I'll tell him when to stop the timer, because I'll think that's when the ball will hit my target.
Okay.
And then I go and actually do it with a real ball, and I'll see the difference in time.
So we're testing Justin's perception against what it actually will
Does that
happen.
make sense?
Perception of distance.
Yeah.
So he's kind of hitting the putt and imagine it along the route, and then when he sees the ball go in, I click stop, and then we hit the putt, and it just the kind of timing thing forces Justin to really imagine the putt and see the putt.
I am in darkness. I am in darkness. Constantly restless worry. I got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. I got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. Got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. I wanna be empty.
His guess was 7.2 seconds. It actually took 6.81 seconds to get ball, so 0.4 seconds away on a 60-foot putt.
That seems pretty close to me.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
How
good.
is he normally?
He's good. We've definitely getting better at that. Just kind of, it, like I say, it really forces him to visualize and like really test his perception of the putt. It kind of calibrates your visualization for different types of greens. Whether you're on really fast undulating greens or slightly slower, flatter greens.
I can imagine it helps you almost feel the pace of the putt a little bit more, because if you're actually thinking about how long it's going to take to get there, that's all about the pace of the greens, really, in visualization.
I just didn't like some of the other drills he did.
What's your least favourite drill he's given you?
Well, there's a pace drill he did with a little quarter, like a triangle.
Yeah.
And it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't enjoy that as much.
That one takes.
It was more the choice of how it's always downhill running away. It's never like uphill and easy, you know what I mean? He's always pushing the boundaries. I suppose that's his job, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can make a drill like as frustrating and as hard as you want. So.
Again, the London Club on Saturday. I did 9 the first time, and then so happy with that. 14.
Yeah, that's good.
The greens are really bumpy.
But I still,
And it was sleepy.
just get used to this week.
That's why I mainly stayed really, just to get ready for this week. I don't normally practice in the sleep. The possibility of that happening this week was quite high.
Yeah, it's pretty likely. I think sometimes it's good just to practice those and build that frustration as well. When you know the surface is a bit, because you just train the routine,
Yeah.
not always outcome based.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound was good.
Don't have many options, do you?
No. Get Stevie to try it. All caught up on this little bad boy.
No, that's why I went higher. But
Just play foursomes.
I'm a butterfly.
Just thinking about where the crossing point's going to go. Are you guys always going to try and knock it past the bunker
yes,
into that wider area?
yes.
For the most part, yeah.
But if they're in,
I would do it further back.
so you're not going to lay up further back.
No.
You're going to, because
Generally,
if
because
it's into the prevailing wind, I'm thinking where the bunker is, it gets quite narrow.
I would put the walkway on top of the hill then, because we're probably going to roll down that hill with it, even if we're laying up.
Well, you can see the crossing point straight across where I think is going to be the landing area. That's
Yeah.
why I want to move
Well,
it.
it's not necessarily going to be landing here, but we're going to be hitting shots from it. Yeah.
Might get a few sort of level with the bunkers, but they're gonna. Yeah.
And just put something in front of those pothole bunkers, so we just like a barrier as well.
Sponsors.
Like a sponsors board or something.
Do you get asked quite a lot by European Tour officials, kind of questions like that?
It's not common, to be honest.
No.
No. They generally know what, just like we know what we're doing, they know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
exactly. Yeah.
But sometimes they will ask players in the event that they're not sure on something, which is good. I mean, I like that, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because they're not the ones playing the golf course, we're
Yeah.
the ones playing it, so they would ask us how we'd probably play the hole, and then they would adjust accordingly. But a lot goes into setting up the course for us.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes that not even we see, just things like that. Marking all the hazards. I mean, if you think how much paint
Yeah.
they have to lay down during the week, it's incredible. They get it right most of the times, and when they don't, we're onto them.
I was gonna say you let them know when they.
Yeah, when they get it wrong, I'm not very vocal about it, but there's certainly some of the senior players are.
So if you had to play in and win one of the majors, which one do you think you would choose?
It would have to be the British show, the Open,
Really?
or the Masters.
Or the Masters,
Would
yeah.
be- I'm not very picky when it comes to
I was
majors.
gonna say, take what you can get,
Take
don't
what I
you?
can
Take
get,
what you
so-
can get.
But yeah, I mean, the British Open was in the same time zone as me growing up in South Africa, so I got to watch it a lot. And, the Open, I'd watch it all day.
Yeah.
And the Masters with the time zone would come on late at night, and I was usually sent to bed.
Yeah.
So I lost out on a lot of it. So, but they play at the same golf course every year, and the history, and so much to go on. Someone said the par fives are short. I hit a 3-wood into every single one.
Shot. Right down it.
It's all about the bounce, isn't it?
That's Links Golf. Good part. And good again.
Am I supposed to see? I am in darkness. I am in darkness. Constantly restless worry. I got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. I got a gun to my
Anytime you miss a green on links. If you got a bunker in your way, you touch. Absolutely. Because you have to be able to land it short and use the lay of the land.
I'm Ryan Fenwick. I'm Justin Waters' performance coach.
How long have you been on board with Justin now?
I've been with Justin 2 years. Started 2 years ago at the Scottish Open.
Since you've been on board with Justin, what would you say is the biggest change you've tried to make to his game, or you've seen an opportunity to improve his performance?
Yeah, it's a great question. One of my goals really was to get Justin to understand his game as best he can. And when these guys are out on tour, people don't understand the time stealers and the efficiency that they don't have around their time. A lot of each week, you're in a different country, time zones, things like that. So it's making the most of every opportunity you've got to get better. So I came on board and I looked at everything Justin does, the way he practices, how long he practices, how long he spends on the course prior to a tournament. So time efficiency would be one of the big things.
A gun to my head. I got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. I got a gun to my head. A gun to my head. I wanna be empty.
We're on the practice round for 2-3 hours, quick lunch, 40 minutes, and then back out onto the range and a lesson with Justin Walters, full swing coach. In this lesson, again, Rocket. No one giving you attention. You gonna talk to me? Good girl. You gonna talk to me? Good girl. You love the camera, don't you? Show off. Where were we? Okay, so Rocket. Okay, so shh. Okay, so the lesson then. Rocket. No. Then we're on to the range with his. I cannot make this video. Do you want to be in the video? All right. Welcome to the video. You are officially part of it now. Yes, I know. Unbelievable. I can't even remember where I was. Now, onto the range. They had about an hour, just over an hour lesson. This was not technical work at all. They had a TrackMan set up and they were doing a yardage test. So basically, the TrackMan was set to normalize, which if you don't know what that means, it just means it's the normal temperatures that are there. So you've got temperature, air density, all those sorts of things of the conditions there. The TrackMan will generate a random number and they're trying to hit that number. Doesn't matter what club you hit, doesn't matter what ball flight you hit, trying to hit that yardage on that line. So this is really good performance exercise if you need a performance exercise, trying to strike your irons better. So then they'd start on a wedge test. They started with the wedges. So they were trying to hit these yardages, 70 to 130 yards. TrackMan would generate a random number. You're trying to hit that number. And then at the end of the test, it will give you a score. I think Justin's score on this was, I want to say 93 or 94. And I think he said his best ever was 95. So I'm going to talk more about this in a separate video. We're going to go much more in depth into this and what he was doing in this test. So stay tuned for that video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss it. Where do we go next? Back to the putting green. He had probably an hour and a half lesson with his putting coach. They were doing some technical drills, then they were doing some pace drills and performance drills, which was really good to see how many different things they were working on and also how they were breaking it down. Again, separate video, going to be much more in depth into this, but here's a little look for you guys and you can see what you think of this.
You've got a ball everywhere.
Yeah, but you think of Morocco and things like fast undulating puts.
Morocco was
a lot of green reading.
Putting was only as good as your ball strike.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't make anything if you didn't hit it in the right spot.
That's what I mean. But like,
So
we've got a lot more kind of.
well, I think with the greens being quite small, you can hit the greens all day and have a reasonable 20 footers. So I would say you got to cater to 20 feet.
When you've done a couple of them, move fast. Just hold it. Emphasize that kind of position. I mean, that's kind of. I want that to be a real kind of focus for these putts through the patch. We're getting the putter to use the same way every time.
It's not about just this week though, it's about everything going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Sunlight, I'll soon be rising. I'm a butterfly.
Justin
We'll
hits.
be talking in between. Yeah.
He hits 20 of these putts, and we keep a record of how many he makes through the gate every practice session. His goal is to obviously make 20 out of 20, like hit it through the gate 20 out of 20 times. That's the focus here.
That's the kind of most common training aids and stuff that you guys do in terms of putting is the chalk line and kind of
helps the aim. Just checking start line basically, just highlighting any tendencies there, and obviously if he's getting it through the gate every time.
So you'd already think this is a pretty full practice day. You know, you've spent 2-3 hours on the range. You've spent 2.5-3 hours on the practice putting green. You've done some chipping and wedge work. You know, that's a pretty full day. No, we're not done. No. We're going back out onto the golf course with Justin's performance coach. That's a different coach. That's not a putting coach. That's not a swing coach. His performance coach. Now you might think, what is a performance coach? Again, separate video, gonna get much more into that. But they went out back onto the course, walked probably 6 holes onto the back nine, not taking the full bag, took probably 4 clubs. I think it was a putter, a wedge, and they were mostly working on areas around the green. Where do you want to miss it? Where don't you want to miss it? What shot are you gonna play from this area to that pin? All this sorts of in-depth work. Again, separate video.
Firstly, what your instinct says, and then secondly, how they're coming out. You hit many bank shots yet?
Yeah, did a few.
How's the sound?
Sounds good.
Sunlight, I'll soon be rising. I'm a butterfly. How am I supposed to see? If I am in darkness, I am in darkness. Constantly restless worry. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. Got a gun to my head, a gun to my head.
Don't play this, is it?
Mate.
Only as good as your last performance. Okay, where's your next test? I was just thinking that.
Train hard, play easy.
I like it. And that's what they all say too.
After this, we're back into the clubhouse, little quick break, and then we are going over into the locker room to meet the physio. This was a guy called Garth. He was South African, worked with quite a lot of the players there. Really nice guy, and they spent quite a while in the locker room doing a variety of stretching, mobility exercises, those sorts of things, which you can see here.
I'm in darkness, I'm in darkness, constantly restless worry. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. Got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I wanna be empty, be empty. A sparkle lights a fire, I'm high, I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am thirsty. A drop of water and another drop of water.
Now, it was really funny actually because a lot of the areas Justin's working on are areas that I'm actually working on too. So it was funny to see him doing quite a lot of the same exercises that I do on a daily basis. You know, train like a European tour player. Whatever. Rocket knows what's up. You know what's up, don't you? Yeah. You see me doing those exercises. But yeah, you're going to eat the camera, aren't you? You're vicious. Done with this. Finally, end to the day. That is a full day of practice. That is what it takes to prepare for an event like the British Masters. This was awesome to see. I really enjoyed walking around the course with Justin Walters. I will link all his social media below, so go check him out. He's a really nice guy, incredible ball striker. You will absolutely love him. That's basically the full day. Again, separate videos coming out for each of the individual areas of the practice day. We're going to have a much more in-depth look into exactly what practice took place. This is sort of just a general overview of the entire day. So guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave your comments and thoughts about this down below, and I will see you guys soon.